Take care. Yeah, you too. Right, we are off. Bit of a weird one today. I always seem to say that, but it is a little bit. I've got to come back down here. I'll explain in a minute, but I've got to do a U-turn and come back down this canal to get water. Oh yeah, now you're talking. No thermal cup needed because it's mid-July. The world is our thermo cup. Do you know what is it? It's later than that, isn't it? It's like 20 something. God, where's it gone? Oh wow. And it's a bit of a heat wave day today. Not a full-on, 40 degree, not a killer heat wave situation, but it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be that nice. So I'm going to try and find some shade, but I've got to move. You're allowed a week here. I've had my obligatory week. And I've been getting a couple of little things sorted out, collecting a few things. But I'm not quite done with Tamworth yet, but I'm going to move to the outskirts to comply. So what I've got to try and do, this is going to be crazy now. I've got to try and turn my nose to the left, right, and then back in. I really hope that was the bloody solar panel. You absolute swine. They're tucked in as well. At least it was just a scrape. Right, so I've got my best bet. I've worked out with the wind is to bring the back end round here and reverse into that bridge hole over there, and then come forwards and round. As I expected, there's someone on the water point over there. Could I have done a single turn? I think I could have done a single turn. I don't think I had to reverse. So let's see how this goes. Fortunately, no boats. Morning, folks. Sorry. Hiya. Don't watch this manoeuvre. Not recommended. No, seriously, really don't. I've cocked it up already. No idea what he said, but I've got to laugh. Right, I'm going backwards very slowly. This will work, but it's a crap way of doing it. So I've got to bring the front end around, and the back end I've got to swing out towards my right. And the way I'm going to do that is go into forward gear. I saw this boat Piggywig, but I met the woman. She pulled up a couple of days ago, and absolutely lovely woman, really nice, dead friendly. With a name like Piggywig, I mean, I wasn't expecting an axe murderer, but you never really know, you know. it struck me the other day, sometimes you'll see the most romantically named boat, you know, Spirit of the Air or something, Dove's Wing, you know, Pigeon's Foot. They call these boats like the most, some of them anyway, you know, these sort of hyper romantic, evocative style names, and then the guys on them. Now, this isn't a dig at everyone who's got a romantically named boat, let me just say that, because some of them are brilliant, but it strikes you all the more when you have these wonderful names, and some of them are, you know, you think, wow, that's a cracking name as well. It's not just, I'm not just saying humbug, you know, they're stupid names or anything like that, overly fanciful. Nice names that I would consider if I ever, anyway, whatever, you know, good names. And the guys on them cruise past with a face of stone, set in stone, honestly. Sometimes don't say hello, or if they do, it's cursory. They're not really, their heart's not in it. Just strange. They're not very common, but when you do come across one of those, incongruous is the word I'm looking for, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going back the way I came. So I did the U-turn, coming back, and the reason I'm doing that is because if you watch the previous vlog, which of course, you know, you obviously will have done, obviously, because you watch every single one, don't you? Otherwise there will be trouble. Yeah, where was I going before that outburst of madness? School on this side. Yeah, you watch the previous vlog, you remember this little stretch, because I went down and got rid of some rubbish and filled up the water. Anyway, where was I? The noise is children. Yeah, so there's a marina down here where you're allowed to use the bins, and there's a water pipe. So before I move on, because I've been there a week, I can refill a week's worth of water, get rid of a couple of bags of rubbish. I think we're allowed to use their Elsan. It says you're allowed to use the bins. The Elsan's out in the open, so as long as you're not stupid and you block it or something, you know, horrendous. Anyway, I didn't use the shower down there either. I meant to walk down or ride down and try it with my CRT key, and I never got round to it. Anyway, I'm back in the madness today. That's the sad thing. I've got to move on. It's been a week, and it's very generous because they're a town centre mooring pretty much, so it's very generous to allow a week, but they do. Lovely place, really nice place, not too much foot traffic for a town centre, so that was nice, quite peaceful, except when the school lets out and all the kids go home and all that. But really nice mooring, not too much sun so that you're sweltering. You get sun after midday, so you can sort of cope with that. The boat doesn't get too hot. Today though, we've got sun all day. This is the first sun all day. Oh no, cloudy this afternoon. We'll see. I don't even know. It probably won't do what it says it's going to do anyway. So I feel like I should stop on the way here. I should, yeah, I'll stop on the outward leg here. This is a quiet canal, this is the Birmingham and Fazeley. I'm heading, if I stayed going here, I'd head towards Birmingham, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do the Birmingham canals unless I've got a crew member to do it with. I don't know how that's ever going to work, but you never know. Someone might volunteer, some mug friend, family member perhaps might volunteer to spend 3 or 4 days, because there's several flights of locks and I don't want to be stuck, slowed down by locks in an urban environment. I want to have the ability to move fast, and that means a crew, ideally a crew of 2, so we've got one on each side, but you know, you get the point. So no Birmingham for me at the moment. I'm heading down towards, I think it'll be Atherstone and Nuneaton. So Atherstone is a flight of 12 locks. I'll have to do it. There it is, it's in the way, but it is summer, so I could do all 12 in a day. I might just do all 12, and I think I'll just see how I feel, because I've gotten out of practice since I separated from Dave and Di. I've only done 2 locks, and I've become a physical wreck. All of that muscle and, you know, enormous muscularity and fitness that I accumulated during their acquaintance has now evaporated, and I'm just a flabby monster again. But anyway, those locks lie ahead. That's the next flight. Right, now just under here is the water point. Why not do it on the outward leg while the water point's empty? It makes all the sense, doesn't it? I've got to turn down there and come back, but let's fill up first. I feel like I'm going to hit that bank, but I can't see because of the shadows. I can't see, like the shadows are so deep and the sun's so bright. I can't see what I'm doing. Right, this'll do. There was still a little bit of way, I should say a little bit of speed. I'm adopting sailors' language. The boat had some way on, means some speed. I'm not finished with Tamworth yet. I've not visited the town centre, and I really want to do that over the next few days. And the laundry is about 2 miles from here, so I'm going to move closer to it today. So it's all it's a genius, cunning plan, multi-stranded, as mine always are, incredibly complex. But the bottom line is, hang on, I'm on a bend. That's not ideal, is it? The 2. Oh right, yeah. I think I'll probably head that way myself, to be honest. I might see you further on, but anyway. Yeah, honestly. Well, I didn't have one, but I've kind of got one now after an incident with a lift bridge. But are you, do you mind me asking, are you living aboard full time? Are you on your holes, or?
We don't live in the UK, basically.
Right. Yeah. But anywho, I shall let you crack on. I'll just do that back rope. I think we're good to go. Right. Have a nice day, guys. Take care. Right, there's a turn which I've got to make just here, and I ballsed this up last time, so this time no mistakes. There's a strong wind today actually. I haven't moaned about the wind yet, but there is a very breezy, up to 25 mile an hour crosswind. Right, I feel like I need to start the turn here. I don't know what I'm doing with this shirt open to the waist, kind of 70s medallion man thing. I haven't got a hairy chest for one thing, so that's not a good look, and I can't fix it yet. Wow, I'm carrying some speed as well. What I didn't realise was, what I overlooked, was that I left myself with some revs on there. And there's a little bend. There's always a bloody bend. So I need to just get rid of this. There we go. Damn, I tried to throw it inside. Didn't quite work. Right, now what I've got to do is I've got to fix this tripod. This camera's not set up properly, so let me just go into tick over forward super slow and sort this out. There we go. Right, what's this now? So much to say. This is going to be a short trip. Oh, sorry, the medallion man issue is not yet sorted. Right, first of all, turn this off. Back into recharge. There we go. I don't want the shirt like fully. Normally I'd be like this, especially if it's windy or cold, whatever. So I'm trying to get the magnet under the shirt that holds the action cam. Long story. You don't want to know, trust me. So where are we going? What are we doing? Right, well, we're going to move about 2 miles. There are 2 locks, and I've got a couple of more little things, a couple of major things actually, if you count laundry, that I want to do before I leave Tamworth. So about another 2 days I'll be. I haven't looked at the city centre of Tamworth, like the proper town centre. I've been on the outskirts, so I want to take a ride into Tamworth, but I'll do that tomorrow. And also I've got 2 full sets of laundry to do. All of my sheets and duvet covers and things are all now in a state where they need a wash. And numerous clothes. The situation is fairly dire. You can wash shirts in a little bucket or something, you know, quite well actually, especially if you use a laundry cleanser to help get rid of any germs, or, you know, anyway. It's too much information, this. It's not pleasant, is it, to listen to? So yeah, so that's going to take a day. 2 full laundry runs. I'm going to do a final shopping run to M&S before I leave. So I would say maybe 3 days. Oh, and I've got to pick up an Amazon item. So yeah, little short hop. I've had a lovely time here. It's 11:33 now, so I left about 10:15, so it's taken about an hour 15 to do the water and services and make the turn. And I'm now heading back to where I was moored, so I'm going to go past there, and I'm going to go right along the what's it called, Coventry Canal, is it? This is the Birmingham and Fazeley, and it was the Birmingham Fazeley up to Fradley Junction. I've been on the Birmingham and Fazeley for a few weeks, Street Hay and Lichfield and all that. So I need more revs actually. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm now going to enter the Coventry Canal. Now I suspect, from what I've seen, Coventry Canal is going to be quite busy. This is a quiet canal. I don't think in the summer you get lots and lots of boats that want to go into Birmingham city centre. And I would have gone down, I would have wandered down this canal. But a couple of miles further on, there's a flight of about a dozen locks. And seeing as I'm not going into Birmingham, there's no point in me doing a dozen locks and then turning around and doing them on the way back. So at the moment anyway, I'm not yet. I want to do Birmingham. I'd like to do it with a crew, as I said earlier on, but I'm not doing it, not in the next few months anyway. I'll carry on south, generally south. So what? Good question. So what? But let me tell you what I've got. 2.7. Check this out. This is a water usage meter. Water meter. And I don't know if you can read the value. 262.7. I just measured. This is going to be a spiel, this, and I don't think it's going to be interesting. So, you know, I've got to say it though. I'm driven. What was I going to say? Yeah. So I calculated. Well, I didn't calculate. I measured that I've used 261 litres in 8 days. Now, normally, I've been fairly profligate with the water. I thought I had a water tank. I estimated it once based on the speed. It's a stupid thing really, but it's the best I could do. I filled up a 10 litre jug, timed it, and then compared that by how long it took to fill the entire tank. You know, and I sort of reached a rough estimate that my tank takes about 450 litres. Now I've been, as I say, profligate with water, because that's the thing. I can empty my tank in 10 days. If I get a shower or a strip wash every single day and wash my hair, wash plenty of clothes, you know, if I'm careless or whatever, if I'm generous, let's say, the better expression, with the water, I can go through it really fast. 10 days, 7 days, you know what it's like. So, I want to sort of get some idea. I don't want to get caught out with an empty tank, so I'm going to put a tank monitor in. That's one of my projects, is to get a tank monitor fitted, so I know exactly how much water I've got left when I go a bit crazy and do lots of washing and things. So there's dear old Piggywig and that lovely lady. It's the best name for a boat I have ever seen, hands down. Best name for a boat I've ever seen. So this could be slightly tricky. I'm going to turn right, so let's see how this goes. No, don't reach for the camera now, that's not a good idea. I'm headed for the bloody bank. I'm going to take some speed off. I'm going to take a little bit of speed off. So I'm now just inching forwards. Okay. Teeny bit more. It's not going to be as difficult as I thought actually. Well, early days. Yeah, it's not an impossible, it's more of an oblique turn than a sharp angle. So not too bad. So I've got to just make sure there's no boats. Let's see if I can do this without cock up. Water point's empty there. I'm going to take a little bit of speed off at the front. Right, off we go. welcome to the Coventry Canal. There's no sign though. There's no sign. So, I mean, there's a direction sign, you know, Birmingham this way, Fazeley this way, whatever, Coventry. But there's no sign here saying that this is the Coventry Canal. But I know it to be the case. Okay, well we've made the turn and a bit scrappy. Not my best work, but certainly not my worst, as you will know all too well. My worst is truly dreadful. So here we are, the sunny Coventry Canal, from the sunny Birmingham and Fazeley. Shame, I would have liked to have carried on down the Birmingham and Fazeley, but yeah. Right, so did I finish off about the thing? So 261 litres it took to refill 8 days, because it was about this time in the morning when I filled it, I think. Don't think I moved down in the afternoon, did I? It was a morning fill, so roughly 8 days, 260 litres. Right, and I've been generous. I've been washing. Hang on, where's the calculator? I want to do a proper Fazeley Junction visitor mooring. So there's more visitor moorings down here, by the way, and they look good. They look good. The reason, there was a motive for me staying where I was though, because it's that much easier to get down to the bins, because I knew I'd be there for about a week, and I knew I'd accumulate some rubbish and I'd need some water. So there's a method in the madness, and I can't stop here now because they're too close to those ones. It counts as like one area, I think. Not that I want to anyway, to be honest. Oh shit. Right, let's get some speed off, because I feel like I'm heading for the bank. Yeah. The trouble here, okay, the main trouble is I'm incompetent driving. Not going to deny that. But there's loads of bushes sticking out, making it difficult to see where the bank is. And the other side was in deep shadow, so I couldn't see where that was. Anyway, a little bit of speed. Right, the reason for me having the phone in my hand was to divide 261 by 8 and get a daily usage rate. 261 divided by 8, 32 litres daily. I have been washing clothes like almost every day though, because it's been hot, and of course you don't want to wear the same shirt 2 days on the run without washing it. Sometimes wear it for an hour and you can't wear it again. Okay, let's go into tick over. Right, okay, so 30 litres a day, but that is very generous. I was being deliberately generous because I knew I was easy to refill. I knew I was 300 or 500 yards from the tap, so I didn't have any water anxiety. I knew I could fill up and get to it in 10-15 minutes. So this is a nice stretch. It's again, it's kind of outskirts of Tamworth, but it's pleasant. It's rural on the, I think it's rural on the right. It's not rural on the left. I'm just going to give it a couple more revs, but I'm carrying on past the locks. Morning. We got a lovely day for it today. I won't be long further myself. I won't be long further myself. Absolute nonsense statement. He knew what I meant. CRT workboat rattling about. In about 15 minutes I'm expecting to come on the approach to the 2 locks that I need to do. So there's quite a line of boats here. These are obviously 14 days, 14-day moorings here, but they're really nicely situated. The towpath doesn't look too busy. It's nice and sunny and open, so there's plenty of solar. So I can see why this line of boats here are here. Lovely boat. I mean, I like the paintwork and the accessories. Lovely boat. I do like a light coloured boat though. There's something really nice about them. Is that a boat moving? It is a boat moving, isn't it? Boat moving towards me. I need to consider horsefly spray as well. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to GRP. I'm going to get past this boat and then I'm going to slow right down, and we can pass with the full width of canal. Because if there's a good spot and then there's trees sticking out, so I want to pass in the wide spot. They're being very generous, allowing me plenty of canal space, so that's good of them. Morning. That's a lovely little boat you got, guys. They were really super generous there. They were right up to within a foot of the bank. They couldn't have done more for me, honestly. If only all boaters were as considerate. The thing about being considerate, right, it makes everyone's lives easier. That's the thing. It makes some people's lives a little bit slower, because it generally means somebody's got to slow down or pause while, you know, the other person completes the thing. You know, being considerate means waiting, but usually not that long. Anyway, I'm not up for a diatribe about impatient people, because to be fair, I've had my periods of being impatient. You know, look at this thing, guys. Look, there's a military pillbox on the side of the canal. A pillbox. And over here, I think, is this the River Tame? Tamworth, the River Tame. I think it's the River Tame. It's bloody huge. I had no idea this was so close. Yeah, this got to be the River Tame. It's got quite a flow on it, I can see from up here. And in this little stretch, it's maybe 200 yards wide. Certainly 150. It's a proper full-on river. It won't be the Trent. No, it definitely won't be. We're too far south now. So, okay, so anyway, 261 divided by 8 is 32 and a half. 32 and a half litres is what I've been using per day. Now, you could say to yourself, you may say to yourself, you can't not do that, come on. You might say to yourself, 30 litres, right, that's a lot by boat. I've heard people say 14 or 15 litres a day, and I think you could do it. A lot of that is down to washing clothes, to be honest. washing myself. If you want to get a bit more hardcore and wash yourself and your clothes less frequently, then yeah, you could do it. It's just not pleasant, is it? You know. Anyway, so we've got some locks coming up. 2 locks and then stop. What am I doing? Moorings here as well, and I could stop here, by the way, because it's still Tamworth. Tamworth is reachable from here, but there's Armco. It's a green tunnel effect, so it would keep you cool in the heat wave. That's worth a thought. And it's not too isolated. There's bound to be houses and things around here. I can see a building up through some trees here, so it's not axe murder territory. Yeah, house here, so it's like safe, and it's a good spot. But I need to move on. I don't think this doesn't count as a big enough move from where I was at Fazeley Junction. It's probably the same general area, so I'm gonna have to move. Hi lads. Is a sight that casts terror into the heart of most boaters of a certain age, shall we say, is youths on scooters. The older generation do not like it. So it's at least half a mile. I just wanted to check sort of when to expect the lock, and it's probably a good 15 minutes away, I think. But there's loads of Armco. There's a cracking spot here. This is a great spot, this, honestly. This is a smashing spot. The Armco's clear, it's not overgrown. You've got decent depth. Morning. Don't stay out in the midday sun too long. Yeah, you've got here. I don't know why no one's here. Why is no one here? There's some houses now, so there's a housing estate on my right, but look at this beautiful Armco. It's not overgrown. There's no masses of bushes to cut where insects can jump on your boat. There's a housing estate on the right which looks more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I want to be polite because it's nice, more prosaic than some of the ones I've seen. They're not big fancy houses. They're your typical townhouses, you call them, on estates, the odd semi. The cars look less expensive than the ones I've seen, but it doesn't look unpleasant. It doesn't look like it's going to be a hotbed for scallywags. I mean, listen, I saw 2 lads on scooters there, and you know, it's a concern when you see that. It is a bit of a concern at this point in time. I can see a little ball of spider eggs under my solar panel, and I'm going to get rid of that. I'll stick it in the bushes. I'll do something with it, but it's not staying there. I don't want dozens of tiny microscopic newborn spiders all over the bloody roof, as they do end up getting in. Anywho, so half a mile to the locks, and where I was, right, I feel was a nice area. I never saw any evidence of like scallywags, youths, problems, very, very little anyway. Nothing that I could put my finger on or say, yeah, that looks of concern. Nothing like that. It was fine. I feel as if moving up into the north part of Tamworth, sort of the north east of it, I feel as if we are now potentially running the risk of issues. Potentially. But shrewd boater that I am, in a place like this I'll park within 150 yards of another boat, keeping topped up with water, by the way. Had a couple of coffees this morning, but this is 29 degrees Celsius day today, so this is not the day for excessive coffee, to be honest. It just isn't. I think I'll just cut the revs a little bit because we've got some moored boats. So yeah, the Coventry Canal. Right, I'm in the weeds a bit here. I'm going to get past these moored boats, and then me and this other boat ahead should pass each other with the full width of canal. No moored boats in our way. I'm in the weeds, so I'm taking a bit of a chance over here. But they're being pretty generous with the space as well, so that's good of them. Morning. You going far today, guys? Right. Morning. Pretty generous there, those guys on that trad. Gave me again, maybe not quite as generous as the older couple who really went tight into the bank, but they went within a yard of the bank. They were pretty decent, and they're probably quite deep draft as well. Most of those trads seem to be. So fair play to them, gentlemen. The ones to worry about are when you're seeing them approach and you get within sort of 50 yards and they haven't moved away from the middle of the canal, and then you're like, well mate, where am I meant to go? You know, you're in the middle. Anyway, not in the mood for a rant today. Makes a change, doesn't it?